Good morning and welcome to our daily devotional from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn. Very glad to have you with us on this Monday morning, October the 9th, 2023, as we continue our look at the book of Exodus. And this week we're studying Exodus chapter 32, verses 1 through 14. And as I usually do on Monday mornings, I will read the entire passage and offer some general reflections and then close us with prayer. So this is Exodus chapter 32, verses 1 through 14. When the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, the people gathered round Aaron and said to him, "Come, make gods for us, who shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him." Aaron said to them, "Take off the gold rings that are on the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me." So all the people took off the gold rings from their ears and brought them to Aaron. He took the gold from them, formed it in a mold, and cast an image of a calf. And they said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt." When Aaron saw this, he built an altar before it, and Aaron made proclamation and said, "Tomorrow shall be a festival to the Lord." They rose early the next day and offered burnt offerings and brought sacrifices of well-being, and the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to revel. The Lord said to Moses, "Go down at once. Your people, whom you brought up out of the land of Egypt, have acted perversely. They have been quick to turn aside from the way that I commanded them. They have cast for themselves an image of a calf and have worshipped it and sacrificed to it and said, 'These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt.' The Lord said to Moses, 'I have seen this people, how stiff-necked they are. Now let me alone so that my wrath may burn hot against them and I may consume them. And of you I will make a great nation.' But Moses implored the Lord his God and said, 'O Lord, why does your wrath burn hot against your people whom you brought out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians say it was with evil intent that he brought them out, to kill them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from your fierce wrath, change your mind, and do not bring disaster on your people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, your servants, how you swore to them by your own self, saying to them, 'I will multiply your descendants like the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have promised I will give to your descendants, and they shall inherit it forever.' And the Lord changed his mind about the disaster that he planned to bring on his people." So this is the powerful story of the golden calf. I mentioned in my sermon yesterday the movie, The Ten Commandments, which had such an outsized influence, I think, on the way that people think about God and our relationship to God, at least in the United States. And the movie actually does a decent job. I'm not that critical. It does portray the story in ways that are powerful. But as I mentioned yesterday, there are questions about how we relate to the story. That is, being careful not to treat God as simply another character in a story, but to have a different relationship to the story. And in this case, the question is about, initially, I think, is a question about what we worship. In our time, I think there are lots of things to worship, just as there are many things to worship in any time. But I think in our time, there is a lot of emphasis placed on human reason and rationality, a lot of emphasis placed on our ability to think through things, which of course is something that I myself am attracted to. But there's an important distinction to be made here about what we give our lives to. And that is that life is not a choice between rationality and faith, or reason and rationality on the one hand and faith on the other hand. Life is itself a journey of faith. And it's important that you recognize where you place your faith. And I understand that people are very attracted to reason and rationality, just as I am. But it's important to recognize that if that is the basis of your life, then that is a faith commitment. That is not itself based on reason and rationality. That is what we give ourselves to, how we journey in our lives is by faith, that living itself is an act of faith, and our lives show what it is that we have faithfulness in. And so there are all kinds of opportunities for idol worship, for things that take the place of God. But all of these things require faith on our part. Let's close with this word of prayer from W.E. Orchard. O thou desire of nations, by whom the prophets spake, of whom the poets dream, for whom the people long, when wilt thou dawn upon our waiting vision? Age after age the heavens are scanned for the sign of thine appearing. We watch for thee more than they that watch for the morning. Yet all things continue as they've been from the beginning. People labor still for wrong. They see the fruit of honest toil torn from them, and their tears are mingled with hopeless task. Still, people sell their souls for a price, and the poor cry for bread and offered a stone. Not yet do we see the mighty cast down from their seat. Not yet thou hast exalted the humble and meek. The race is still to the swift and the battle to the strong. Where is the promise of thy coming? Forgive the impatience, O our God, that would fling itself upon thy slowly turning chariot wheels. Thou thyself hast bid us watch and pray for the coming of thy kingdom. The promise was it should be soon. Perhaps thou hast come and the earth has rejected thee, come like a thief in the night and gone, come disguised as a child seeking love, a woman seeking justice, a man seeking souls, and we found no room for thee. Then, oh, come back to us again. Or dost thou wait till we are ready? Dost thou tarry till we turn from the trifles that now hold our hearts? Must we ourselves prepare the way? Oh, help us to understand. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me this morning from Pilgrim Congregational Church. I'm Patrick Horn, and I hope that you have a very good day. Goodbye.